Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Tech Niche Tips. Whoops, wrong show. Talk that tech in the morning. Good morning.
Yo, that's how early it is, bro. That's how early it is, man.
That's how early it is. That's how long of a weekend it has been, but it's been a good one. Listen, y'all, it was so good. We decided not even to do a countdown. We decided to coming in hot, like the song
Yes,
says.
sir.
Coming in hot. But thank you so much for all y'all tuning in. If you are tuning in from the LinkedIn side, if you are tuning in from the YouTube side, thank you so much for tuning in and rocking with your boys. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh man,
All the
Trey.
time, all the time. Y'all in there, man. We love it.
Well,
We
let's do
love it.
that again because we missed something that is very important that you always say. So we gotta do it again. Good morning and welcome to Talk That Tech, the morning show. I'm your host, Joseph M. Smith, and I got my bro Trey, big bag, money bag, tech bag, Trey in the building. And what are we?
We are the number one tech morning show in the world. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Oh man. Oh man. We're gonna talk about our weekend. I'm gonna talk about our weekend very soon. But before I kind of dive deep into that, I just gotta look in the comments section because we got the people early in the building. We got Damien. Morning, Damien. Good morning. We
Good
got
morning.
Operation Tech Takeover. Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings indeed. We got a good morning from Lisa. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, LinkedIn user. Good morning,
Hey, hey.
Christopher. Good morning. What up, Christopher? Good morning. I'm glad to be with you this morning. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to talk, we're going to laugh, we're going to take some time to reminisce as to talk about this past weekend. But before we do that, I wanted to ask you, Trey, how was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? If you did anything fun, anything that was memorable, uh,
Bro.
anything you want to share?
Bro, my weekend was pretty chill this weekend. Outside of the norm, right? Or no norm is going to play golf. I didn't go play golf this weekend. So Sunday went to church like normal, and then rode down an hour and a half to one of my aunt's homes. She had a birthday or is having one today, so we celebrated yesterday, and it was good seeing all the family, like always. So everyone was down, had a great time, rode on back, got some popcorn, got the big gallon drink of soda. I'm lying. I didn't. I sat in front of the TV and watched the Cowboys lay the smackdown on the Eagles to go ahead and bring us into the number one seed. And look, I know it's probably gonna be some haters in the comments, but look, let me get this victory, okay? I know what happens in the playoffs normally, but let me get this. We needed this. Also, oh, I forgot. Also, my boy LeBron, they took home the in season tournament trophy as well. So that's an extra 500 racks in their pocket. It's not about the money, so it's okay. Love that. So yeah, you knew I was going there, Damon. Yep, you knew it. You knew I was going there. But anyway, that was my weekend. It was so good, so good. I'm excited today.
I'm laughing. He's like, I'm still them boys. I'm still them boys. Don't forget
Listen, man.
us. Oh man! Before I get talking, I'm gonna go to the comment section again because we got Mitch saying good morning, Chad
Good
also
morning.
saying morning, my brothers. Good morning. And then we also have Khadijah. Good morning to you, Khadijah.
Hey.
Chad, DC for life. I knew it. I knew it. There's some people that love it for sure up in here. I knew he was gonna go there, as Damien says. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Tiffany. And then oh, you were at a church event. That's great, man. I'm very happy that you were out and you were there. And oh boy, we going to talk today. We are going to talk today. But before I do that, we got to go to our normal question of the morning, which is this: would you rather stay at a hotel or an Airbnb? Would you rather stay at a hotel or an Airbnb? For myself, it really depends. It really depends. I feel like if I'm staying at a hotel, what kind of amenities do they offer? The same thing with the Airbnb. If I'm staying at Airbnb, what kind of amenities do they offer? Uh, It depends if the person that's owner occupied and they're like, "Hey, I'll be downstairs. You just have a good time upstairs."
Oh
It
no.
really depends. It depends really for me.
Oh
Uh,
no.
but from my experience, because I haven't really been in an Airbnb, I probably would lean hotel. What about yourself, Trey?
Hey man, I'm going the opposite. Give me the Airbnb, okay? And no, I don't want you in there. Okay, I'm not even thinking about. Look, don't say you in the hey, the kitchen's yours. We sharing it. I don't want to hear. I don't want nobody in there, but who I'm supposed to be in there with. So normally though, I would say with sometimes with family, you know, a lot of times if we travel and stuff, we'll just get the big Airbnb, and so that's always fun. And then sometimes if it's just me and wifey, man, it might be just more cost effective or more it's better because of basically where location wise to just go ahead and snag the Airbnb. But I will say, you know, if it's high end hotel, right? Like,
Hmm.
you know, if it's the Ritz, hey, take me there, right? If it's the Four
Put it on
Seasons,
the Ritz.
yeah, you know, so it just depends. But more, I would say 9 times out of 10, let me go ahead and get that Airbnb, bro. It's just more secluded is I don't know, more room. I like it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm not gonna lie, the comment section is on fire in regards to what they're saying, and they're leaning with me. They said hotel. Mitch said hotel. Lisa has said hotel. Christopher said hotel as well. Who's that? Who's that peeking in my window?
It better not be
That's you.
nobody.
It better not
Listen,
be the
you know where
owner,
I'm.
right?
You know where I'm at, Scott. So hopefully you're
Yeah.
not peeking in the window. You know, catch some hot lead, man.
That's true. So you can carry in that state. So, and then David says, if it's like an intercontinental, things change. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. If it's
That's what I'm
because some
saying.
Airbnbs that are like outside of the U.S., they might be in location probably in Mexico somewhere or whatever the case may be. They're like a resort in their own right. Like some of those hosts really go out and they're not there. So that's definitely something that we're gonna be uh exploring in the future. I think I definitely want to explore that. But I put up a poll on my YouTube channel, and it's about the topic that we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to be basically, if you, as we just have in the actual title of this video, I'm going to be taking the time today to review the Techsgiving Summit 23. This is my review,
Let's go.
and what I wanted to just say is that I want to make sure that I specify that it's Techsgiving Summit, because Techsgiving in itself is an organization that really pretty much does what they do throughout the entire year. They have a Discord. It's a great place to meet like-minded people. But I got to talk about this event, Techsgiving, right? I put a poll there, and as we're talking about it, I want you to basically respond to that poll and say, hey, are you planning to go to Techsgiving 23? Are you planning to go to Techsgiving 2023? Because I will tell you something. I am. 2024, I should say. I am
I was
planning to
just about to
go
say.
to Thanksgiving 2024. If you have not noticed, uh, oh, Christopher, before we go on, I want to add this. Christopher says that Airbnb just costs too much. And you know what?
Yeah, it depends on what. That's why I said depends on what's
Yeah,
going down. If it's a family event or something like that,
yeah,
sometimes when we travel there, that's you got to get that, man. It's just better, but
yeah.
it just depends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it depends. But let me talk Thanksgiving, right? So first of all, I have to give a huge shout out to my man Ty Smith. If y'all don't know who Ty Smith is one of my guests that I had on the show. Not just once. It was so nice I had to put him on twice. And he was talking about tech channel sales and how it could really be a great way to catapult yourself to starting your own tech business. So if you haven't seen any of those episodes, go ahead and click on the link, and you'll be able to on my channel, and you'll be able to see the videos there at Tech Niche Tips on YouTube. But yeah, like he was basically the one that says, "Hey Joseph, I know you got a big family. I know you got a lot going on at home, but you need to come out to this event." And so I said, "Okay, all right." And he didn't say it once. He probably said it 2 or 3 times, trying to encourage me to come out. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna do it. And so first things first, shout out to my transportation Amtrak. I never did Amtrak before. I don't know if you rode Amtrak at all before. Have you ever did that?
Bro. No, it's one thing that I want to do though. I want to go somewhere like just a big distance and just get on that thing and and just ride.
Oh yeah. Oh, Scott's right. Don't forget to hit the likes up and shares. Come on, let's get the likes up and shares. We normally don't push it hard, but go ahead,
We
Scott.
don't.
Thank you for
Okay, go go on. He
for
did it.
get the
He did
word
it
out.
for us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't want to highlight that. But yeah, so Techsgiving Summit 23. So basically, I took Amtrak, right? I took Amtrak
Yeah.
there, and it was a great experience. No TSA. The only thing is I had two different experiences. I'm going to explain it later on, but I had more or less, actually, I'll explain it now. We got time. So basically, the experience was I got on, I did regular coach. Like when you're on coach, they don't tell you nothing. You got to get on, you got to get off. You have to know when you're getting on, and you have to know when you're
Oh
getting off
snap.
on coach. Yeah, but otherwise it was smooth. No TSA. You put your bags there, you sit down. The ride was about 3 hours from where I am in Jersey to where the event was in DC. And on a coach side, it was a little bit close to my guess, right? But it wasn't. I've been in worse situations, so it wasn't that bad. Coming back though, I actually took business class, and I would say it was a lot more comfortable ride. They
Really?
have, yep, they have like one person that's like designated, I guess, to business class to let you know when your stop is. So that's a difference. The food cart is right there if you're hungry, so you could go ahead and grab that as well. And then I was on my own seat. Like I didn't have to share it. I wasn't next to anybody. It was a bigger seat, had all my electrical plugs there. I could just kind of plug in and work on today's show with you
Yeah.
and do all those different things from there. So that was my traveling experience. If I was to recommend, if you're in the northeastern sort of area and you want to go to DC or go to someplace northeast, Amtrak is not bad. And business class, if you could flip it, if you can get that, I would encourage that as well. So like definitely do that. And some depending on where you go, they actually have beds as well. Mine was not like an overnighter sort of situation. Mine was just straight up because
Yeah.
it's like 3 hours away. But I'm pretty sure if you go to Cali or Florida, yeah, you're going to be getting one of those sleeper ones. And so with that being, and they also have family carts too, which is pretty cool. Like you have your whole family kind of set up in its own different space. So Amtrak, I ain't
Yo,
sleeping on you
that's lit.
anymore. I ain't
That's
sleeping
lit.
on you
Yeah.
anymore. That was a good experience. So I got there though, and talking about Amtrak, it was super delayed, like an hour plus delayed. And so by the time I got there to DC, the first after party event was there, and I literally just went straight to the event. I was like,
Oh, okay, good.
don't stop and go. Don't collect 200, just get there, right? So I
Yeah.
get to the event and I'm not on CP time. I'm early. I'm right on time. So nobody's there except the people that started to organize it.
Literally.
And I gotta give a shout out to the staff of Techsgiving. Um, Femi, obviously Jeffrey, Nafisa, all those that basically were the founders and the hosts and the people that were pushing it. They did a really excellent job. So shout out to y'all. Y'all are great. I definitely appreciated it, and I appreciate your staff because I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of registrations that you had to do for particular events, RSVPs, and that's the one that I actually missed. That's the one I thought
Mm.
I RSVP for, but I didn't. I RSVP for another after party the next day. So they were nice enough to be like, "Hey, bro, we see that you have your luggage with you. You see that you came all this
Come on
way.
in.
Yeah, come on in. Your VIP and come on in, right?
Hey man, he gonna make
And
a way, bro.
he gonna make a way. Part of the Red Seas. Whew, walked right in. And no, I appreciated it. And so I ended up going up, and it was again a great experience because not only for myself was it unique in the sense that I was not just in a tech event, but I'm an opportunity to see and meet a lot of my guests for the first time that have been in the show. So Ty, like I mentioned, Ty Smith was there. His wife Ayana Smith was there. She's awesome. And then I had a few others. Aaliyah Oles was there as well, who is a founder of Breaking Into Tech. And so it was like a big reunion, without us, like for the first time we're meeting, but it feels like we're like, oh, what's up, family? So it was so cool that, I mean, we had a crew there. We had Zoya. Zoya was another guest on my show that I was able to have and meet up with. And it was so cool to meet with her. We had Prince that was a part of the group. He was there as well. Like the list goes on. We had later on, we met somebody named Destiny, and there's so much people that we made connections with. from that, not just that first night, but throughout the weekend, that it was really a great opportunity. So great time. It was a rooftop party. There was outside they had a whole bunch of like fire pits and stuff. So it was really cool. Great experience, great joys on day one. And being the old man in the room or the one with a lot of
Boy,
kids, I went to bed pretty quickly. So that was kind of like day one though. But actually, before I jumped ship, I realized that in DC, the nightlife, depending on where you go, it could really keep on going, because after that after party, we went to an Ethiopian restaurant. And again,
mm,
it was that crew that I was mentioning, and we basically sat down and we had some really good food, and we were talking about life and talking about tech and talking about just being a person of color in these different companies and in life, and just how we had to kind of maneuver and do and walk through life, not to get into too much details, because some things you got to just be there to see, to be a part of. But it was just a
facts.
really good conversation that we had, and really good food. And I'm like, man, next time I'm gonna go and get some tips. That's what it's like that's what they call like the beef, like cut up and cooked and stir fried. So it was definitely dope, and in that regard. And so that was day one, Wednesday, right? Day two, I'm telling you, I'm going in detail, y'all.
We
Day
want
two
it
was
all.
all the day two is about the speaker series, right? That's what it was all about. So when I arrived there, they had it basically set up where you could go to different rooms. So forgive me, I am not going to be able to speak about them all, because Techsgiving had a plethora of options. I was like, man, I wish technology has sped up to the point where I could get some clones. And we could all go to different rooms and and basically come back and converse and break and talk about all the things that we learned. Technology is not there yet, but I still had a great time. I'm going to highlight the
Yeah.
things that I was able to be a part of. So if I do not talk about your session, please forgive me. It just means that I was not able to get to you. But in regards to the first session I was in, it was about initiatives, creative industries within AI, and that was with Coy Griffin. So if you know Coy Griffin, give her a huge shout out to her. She really kind of laid the foundation as being one of the first sessions that we had in the Techsgiving Summit, and then from there, it went to small business and finances with James Peterson. And one thing I want to tell everybody here, if you do not have it, go and get yourself a business plan. That's one of the things that he harped on as well, that he wished he had, because somebody was about to come to him to buy his business. And he was like, can you give me they were like, can you give me a business plan? And he said,
Eesh.
I'll be right back. And I'm gonna give you some game, y'all. Score, SCORE. If you're not familiar, that is actually a platform that allows you. It's like a website, score.org. It's an organization that connects you to people that are actually could be your mentor in business, and you could be able to then kind of basically leverage that relationship to be able to kind of take yourself to the next level. So he was recommending Score highly, because what he did was he connected with somebody in Score that helped him to create a business plan. And I'm gonna tell
Awesome.
the story because I think it's really, really good to highlight the fact that we can never look down upon somebody because they may not have the same skill set that you have. Because he found a mentor there that was still using the typewriter, an older person, right?
Dang.
And he mentioned that like what this person gonna teach me, and that person like gave him game upon game upon game. Great friend to this day. Apparently, from what I remember him talking about it. So Score, SCORE. Check that out. That organization, if you're looking for a business mentor, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But I got a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to run through a couple of different things here.
I'm loving this, man. Keep it coming.
Generative AI and ethics with Calvary Rogers. Like Calvary, he worked on Gemini at Google, and he's one of those people that actually continues to work in the field. And he talked about the difference between machine learning and deep learning. He talked about the difference between generative AI and how impactful it can be, and the whole overall ethics. And we put things in the chat GBT, and we kind of forget that once it's in there, it belongs to chat GBT. So be careful about what you put in there, right? And so he did a great job of breaking that down. Again, his name is Calorie Rogers. Go ahead and follow him on LinkedIn. Driving and Embracing Innovation in Government Spaces with George McGowan. When I went in that session, bro, I am not familiar with the GovTech space at all.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: they need to have one day by themselves to vent. and to kumbaya, and maybe even have a moment of just like sitting down and let the therapist come and say, "Hey, tell me what's going on," because they had a lot to share. They had a lot to vent about, and it just showed me that first of all, our people are brilliant, right? And we can when we spot inefficiencies in certain systems, I'll just say it like that. And we can't really make that change. It irks us, It's just like
Boy,
but it was
that government on government time, man.
that government on government time. But I'm gonna stop right here. Listen, today's episode is about me sharing my review, but at the same time, if you are a person that was able to participate in Techsgiving, I want you to go and call into the show. All right, you see the link down there in the bottom, but I also posted it on my YouTube page at Tech Niche Tips. Go ahead and click on the link if you want to jump in the show and share your review. Yeah, if you want to share, you have to go to youtube.com/at Technique Tips, and you'll see right there pinned to the top. You could call into the show. In fact, I might try to put it on LinkedIn as well, just because I really want y'all to call in, especially if you had an opportunity to be there. But yeah, so that was day two, and I still got more to share there. But I want to definitely get this link picked up. But while I'm trying to pull this link on for the LinkedIn crowd, um, let me just pull this up right here. What are your thoughts so far while I try to do this on
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, bro.
sharing?
Bro, listen, I'm like, because obviously I didn't get a chance to go, and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat because I'm like, man, I should have been there. I gotta get there. I'm telling you this, not missing anything else. I can tell you that for sure. Just off of what you said so far, man. Just the fact that they went into all these details that are right now, like this is
Yeah,
what we're going through generative AI right now, like people
yeah,
are starting small business. They do have small businesses with their tech jobs and stuff right now. Like, so just to know that they're talking about what's going on with people who, hey, they're at the upper echelon of their space, man, that's where you want to be at. That's where you can stay on the leading edge of whatever's going on or whatever you're working on and continue to elevate. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm loving it, bro. I feel like I was there so far. So keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Love it, man. I'm glad you feel that experience because it was a great one. Crafter, I'm going to go to the next session because I feel like we're going to have some people calling in pretty soon, and I want to make sure we get space for them for sure. But Craft Your Calm, a practical guide to wellness and tech with Shamir Robinson. She was just so full of energy, just kind of reminding us how to really kind of find spaces within your day. You're working at your desk, you're working in different office environments. How can you de-stress? We did breathing exercises and things of that nature. So that was great. That's a session that I attended. Big steppers, building strategic partnerships with corporate powerhouses. That was a great one. If you were part of that, because he talks about what he used to do, what he does with HBCUs, and how he connects corporations and partners with them to basically kind of help spearhead some of these initiatives with these new starting businesses, with these college students that have to pitch businesses to them. And I think it was a great session with that as well. So go ahead and if you have not checked out that one, I believe brother name was Keith. I think so. Forgive me if I think I forgot to put his name here on my show notes here. But that was a great session. Pay me in equity. Woo! This was a great one. This is a great one, right?
Mm,
Because in
sound
tech, we
good.
always kind of hear like, okay, we want to get paid, right? How do we get paid, and how powerful is equity? I've heard stories about people that have gotten paid in equity and they basically paid off a house, or they bought a house, or they have to do so many different things. They started a business. And so how do we get to the table and negotiate that? That was with Adrian Davis and Chelsea Ranson Cooper. That was a great session, y'all. I really enjoyed that. And the last one that I was able to attend for the day was from idea to IPO with my girl Nafisa. Let me say something real quickly. Nafisa, one of the founders of Techsgiving, right? The
Yeah.
Techsgiving Summit. That woman is brilliant. It felt like a TED
Mm,
talk. We were just
mm.
everybody, and that's not my words. That's somebody else's words. That everybody just like they're like, dang, she's just killing this. Like slide, didn't skip a beat. Like she was on top of her game. And so shout out to you, Nafisa, and I believe Jared was a part of that as well. But she just handled that really well. Basically, kind of three mistakes founders make in their formative stages, trying to build something. So That was really good. And now after that, they had actually a happy hour with uh, them to us, poetry. They had like a poetry situation, and that was pretty cool as well. Love the after hour party. And then Friday we had panel series, right? And along these times, I'm actually meeting more guests. I'm meeting Bobby. I'm meeting a few other guests from the podcast. Lauren Evans was there as well. Yes, and in fact, let me go to the comment section. Let me take a break real quickly. It's about Amtrak. They have beds. Yes, yes, they do have beds on there as well. Yeah, it took a 3 hour ride business class. It was nice. That's right. That's what I did it as well. What up,
Got to get
Crystal?
on that Amtrak.
Crystal's in the building. Crystal, awesome, awesome, awesome. Go ahead and if you like this, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you were there, also go ahead and jump on and call in. You don't have to show your face, just so you know. You don't have to show your face. You could call in without showing your face. I'll just have your audio play. But definitely love for you to call on the show. Yes, Nafisa crushed it. She absolutely crushed it. Like it was dynamite. I loved it. I loved what she did. And that was the conclusion of day two. Day three was panel series, like I mentioned. They also had headshots available as well. And I had to highlight a few of them because I had a few that basically was pretty cool that I was able to attend. Oh, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the building, Ty Smith. What up, Ty Smith? Techsgiving
What's going on,
2023 was a
Ty?
vibe. Yes, what up, Ty? What up, Ty? And this means a lot because he's in Nevada. It's like four.
Mm,
It's like four something in the morning there, 4:26. So dope seeing everybody. So glad you're able to
that man
be
don't
there,
sleep.
Ty. Yeah, that man don't sleep. That should be a T-shirt. That man don't sleep.
Oh man,
Oh man, I can't wait
be
to
up.
get you on in a few minutes, Ty. Definitely appreciate to hear your feedback on Techsgiving. He was the reason I was out there, y'all. Like I said
Yeah,
earlier, he is the reason that I was out there. And so thank you so much. But yeah, we met some amazing friends along the way, Ty and myself, on this particular day, which was day three. A couple of the sessions I want to highlight was the one with Tanika Askew, Yasmin Abdi, Simone Bees was in the building as well. Kanika Tolver, with one of my guests that I had on the show. They're all talking about basically strategies for success, building business and brand in government consulting and being able to kind of work within that space. So it's really cool to see a lot of good highlights. Kanika, like always, she winds you up and then she lets off like fire. People were clapping for her when she
dang.
was talking. Yeah, that's how she. I love how she rolls. I got to meet her mama too. Mama is so sweet. And one of the things I got to say is that when I met her mother, we shook. We hugged and everything like that. And we both looked around the room, and she's like, "Man, to see all my babies, right? To see all my children out here killing it in the game." I'm paraphrasing it, but
Yeah,
basically her
yeah.
sentiment was that it meant so much to her, and you could tell that she had history to go alongside that. And I kind of felt like that multiple times in the space. Like there's over 1,500 tech professionals, people
Mm,
aspiring to be into tech, GovTech professionals, consultants, all sorts of people there that were killing it in their sphere of influence. And I'm gonna talk about that towards the end. But that was a moment out of many moments that I had that I was just like, yeah, this is amazing.
this is it. Yeah,
Ariane, Mercedes, Khadijah Jenkins, Kenise Robinson, unlocking equity, navigating the path to salary transparency. We had salary transparency streets up in there as
yeah.
well. She was hosting it, but Ariane was not playing games. She's like, these companies got money, y'all. These companies have money. You gotta get you. Don't feel sorry for them. They gotta let them pay you. Like she was going in, and I love it. It was like it was so good. It was so good, man. She was going in, and then we had Kofi Forson. He was speaking about wellness session. It's about wellness session with expressing yourself as a black man and just kind of being understanding that therapy is important. Even kind of understanding that therapy, you should try to have an end in mind when it comes to therapy and try to see like, okay, how am I getting better and growing? And so that was a
Mm,
good
mm.
session. And my highlight was to me was honestly meeting friends and making new ones. So like I mentioned before, Kanika was there. She was in the building. Bobby McNeil, a guest that I had on the show as well. Lauren was there. Lauren Evans was there. And then Cyrus was there as well. Cyrus Harbin was there. And it was cool because he interviewed me on his show a while ago, a couple weeks ago.
I was about to
And
say that was recent.
That was recent. Yeah, it feels like a while ago, but it was recent. We bumped into each other, and really cool dude, really humble dude, like really observant, just kind of like checking out everything, and really cool. And we hanged out for like the next couple of days. It was actually not just that day, but we hanged out for like pretty much majority of sun. Was that Saturday?
Saturday.
We hung out for a while. Yeah, and we were basically able to like just with a group. It was Ty Smith, his wife Ayana. It was a few of us that hung out together for there. Shout out to Hilton. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Howard. Shout out to Roman. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Tula. We hang out with a lot of people, and so I'm trying to Alexandra. We hanged out with a lot of people that brunch Saturday, which I'm about to get to next. I'm able to meet Simone Bees as well, and it was really cool. I did not go to the after party though. This time around, I was planning to go to the after party. They had a whole gala thing that was from another organization. I just fell asleep. Being the old man in the room with my big family and stuff. I just like,
Hey man,
and I woke up
had to
like
get that rest somewhere.
I
Had
woke
to
up
get
when it
that
was too
rest.
late. Yeah, I woke up when it was too late. I basically woke up and I'm like, hey, the party's still going on. Now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. You missed out. So that was what it is. And y'all, listen, I'm pretty much about to wrap it up just now. So if you want to click the call in link, just so I know that you're ready to call in, go ahead and click that link, and I'll have you in the back office, and then I'll bring you up. Audio only. If you don't want to be shown, that's totally fine. You don't have to show your face. You can just call in like it's a radio show, and we'll bring you up to talk about your experiences at Techsgiving. But yeah, that was pretty much that. And then again, going into that day ending, going into Saturday, basically I had the episode with Tech. I had to keep this thing going, right? So I had a live stream with Technique Tips with Nate Wiley, and let me just say that the hotel Wi-Fi was not working for me. It was good at one moment, and then it went crazy another moment. But even though it was struggle streaming that day, we still pulled the show off, and then we went to brunch with friends, and I met some amazing people, some movers and shakers at that brunch. Um, Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Alston. Alston, I think you actually are here. I think you're on the LinkedIn Live. But shout out to all the people that I will be able to talk with on that particular brunch. It was so good. Will it be in DC again next year? Actually, I bumped into Femi, one of the founders, and they are exploring options. I believe they're looking at DC. I believe, but they're exploring things. They're gonna probably take some time to kind of celebrate Wusa and then come back to the table. But I'm not too sure if it is in DC. I'm coming back anyway, wherever it is.
I'm in there.
The price tag, I would say this: if y'all didn't know, the price tag for this, I think it was $80 for general entry or $70 for general entry. It was like 180 for VIP, 300 something dollars for platinum. So super affordable. Whenever they put it out there that they are ready to go and do this thing, y'all just sign up. Don't even
Yeah.
wait. Don't even wait, because yesterday's price is not today's price. I'm guaranteeing
No,
that.
that's for real.
They have
Yeah.
1,500 people, bro. Yesterday's price is definitely not gonna be today's price when they do this
Yeah.
again. So yeah. With that being said, let me go to the comment section. Damien says, "Will it be in DC again next year?" I just spoke about that, and then hello, the air wasn't working either. That air
Talking about
wasn't
that
working.
show Saturday. Talking about that show you did on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
with Nate, the one you did with Nate. Yeah.
I took it off. I took off the heater, but then it just kept blazing, I guess. And I just like I can't stop the show for this. But yeah, it was crazy. That whole one, nothing to do with you in the show. Wi-Fi said, "Get out." Yes, like the movie Get Out. And then I'm coming because I need to network more. I'm trying. So let me talk about now that I finished kind of going through everything, because we on that Saturday brunch we ate, we talked life, we talked business, we talked past experiences. We went from restaurant to restaurant. Cyrus was working everywhere. He had his laptop open like the whole time. It was pretty cool though. I really admire his hustle for sure. And here's a couple takeaways I want to put out there. Let me see. Christopher says I went. It was a great tech event, super affordable, and I would recommend anybody go. Yeah, absolutely. It was a great event. And so just kind of summarize my experience at that event, and then I'm going to pass it to you, Trey. And again, anybody that wants to call into the show, you don't have to show your face, but you could talk about your experiences. We would love to hear it, and we could have a conversation while we do it. All you have to do is click on that link, that's pinned to my YouTube page, and then we could definitely talk about it some more. And in fact, I actually looked at the poll that I have there. Uh, People have 50% said heck yes, they want to go to the next one. 50% said depends on where they'll have it. So Washington D.C. was not a bad spot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, I I I I normally I normally when it comes to Washington D.C., depending on what time of the year it is, it's gonna be freezing, and the temperature wasn't that crazy this year. It was a little cold here and there, but it wasn't freezing. So if they do it again there, I'm definitely going to be in the building. But just to wrap it up here in regards to my section, and then we'll let you talk, Trey. Networking was definitely a huge part of that experience. So you go to the event, you definitely want to, if you get a session or two that you want to go to, that's great. But the networking is invaluable. The networking, the connections that you can make. And sometimes you might say to yourself, oh, little old me going into this room. But you'll be surprised. You go into this room, you may share a little bit about who you are, you may share a little about your experiences, and people are like, wow, that you do that. That's amazing. And your phone is always in your hand, sharing your LinkedIn QR code at ready, going from hand to hand, but it was a great networking opportunity. It was an amazing networking opportunity. You're in the room with people from Accenture, from Google, from all parts of life. You're in the room with hundreds of founders, and it was a time that if you really took advantage of it in a of course the mutually beneficial way, and not trying to leech off of people, but if you took advantage of it in a mutually beneficial way, there are so many relationships to be made. There were so many things that you could have done, so many connections that you could have made. So networking was important. But I'm going to get a little bit more on sentimental side here and say this. At the end of the conference, when it was basically said, we out of here, it's done. I sat down in the Audi Field lobby arena space that they had, the where they had it at, and I basically said, man, this is what I see in this room is just a room full of leaders, people of color that are killing it in their sphere of influence. And from that moment, I just sat there, I closed my eyes, I just soak in the sounds around me. I looked around. There was a time where I looked around and the room was packed with people and vendors and things of that nature. And I basically said to myself, I said, man, like this right here challenges my leadership as a man, as a human being, as Joseph. Joseph the husband, how is your leadership? Joseph the father, how is your leadership? Joseph at my job, how is your leadership? Joseph, wherever I go, my leadership. I felt challenged to be a better leader being there, and and we had these conversations too. Like most of us that were there were the only person of color on our team, only black person or Hispanic person on our team, and to be in a room where we realized, man, we're not alone. You know, there might be a few of us sprinkled within our organization, but as a body, as a people, we're not alone. And that realization, that realization felt powerful. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It felt special. And so my biggest takeaway, networking, of course, was a big one, but it was like, man, I want to be the better version of myself when I return. And yeah, bro. But I want to
That's
give you
lit,
a moment to respond to what I said. I said a lot, so
bro.
you may not get all to all of it, but I wanted to give you a moment to just respond and then see if anybody wants to call into the show. Anybody who's
Yeah.
brave to call into the show.
Hopefully we have somebody that's brave because I don't got a lot, bro. I just say it definitely. I think that space did what it was supposed to do, right? When you said,
Mhm.
"Hey, this inspired me to be," it challenged my leadership, and I think that's saying that it did a good job, right? Like if you go somewhere and you don't feel like you grew, or you don't feel like, this is stretching me in this direction, or it's making me want to stretch in such and such direction, then I think it didn't do a good job. So the fact that
Yeah.
it was able to do that, I tell you what it told me. Hey, I'm not missing anything else. I'm not missing nothing else. And then the other piece, bro, is that like just being the last part that you were speaking on, you know, it's like you said, when when you're in these companies, right, at these tech companies, a lot of times you don't really see a lot of you. So to
Yeah.
be somewhere where like, hey, oh, we're in the same like, oh, it's actually, we actually got a little footprint here, and
Yeah.
it's growing. It's growing and
Hmm.
it's thriving, and it's something that, hey, when we look up, I don't know, 5, 10 years from now, it's like, oh wow, I remember when, right? Like the footprint was a lot smaller, and because of the groundwork that these conferences are doing, because of the groundworks that you're doing,
Hmm.
with techniques, tips, and things like that, it's
You
it's
too, take back Trey.
slowly it's slowly it's slowly going and growing, and that's what we want, man. That's all we're seeing is, hey, there's other things out there, right, outside of what society normally pushes on you,
Yeah.
and it is available to you if you're willing to take a little time, learn the skill, and then connect with people who can get you in. So, no, man, you put me there. I will say, I still want to go because I gotta get that experience. But I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like after that, I got a little bit out of there too. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
man. And I still left out so many things that I probably forgot.
Yeah.
So many different things that I really did forget. But I wanted just to ask this question to everybody. What was your text giving experience like? I see I have one caller in the back office, but I'm going to go to the
I'll
conversation
get them in.
just to
Oh,
make sure I
okay.
didn't miss anything. I got one point from here. It's Alisa says, still looking for my break in role. Would love to go to the next year. Yeah, you definitely want to do that. You definitely want to do that for sure. And so I have a couple people here. I got to get this person in because, and I won't put you on camera, but I got to get you in because you were there. You're the reason why I got there, and I'm going to put you on. And that's give me 1 second to do that. And that's Brother Ty Smith. What up, brother? Can you hear us? Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great, and I'm so glad to get you on and for you to share your experiences, man. You're the reason why I was there. You were the reason
Oh,
why
I
I was
appreciate that,
there.
man. I appreciate you coming. Like it was so awesome just being there, with all of those people. I mean, all the same place, same time. I mean, like, 2023, I think one was like such a good year just for just Black Tech conferences. I mean, you had so many different ones from, the Afro Tech and you had Render and ByteCon and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like seeing everyone from all the different conferences all get together for one final time for 2023, I think was super cool. And then seeing some of the people that have also been part of the culture, just when it comes to podcasting, like yourself, Cyrus, and just everybody else. I mean, yeah, it was absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad you got to experience it.
You muted, bro. You muted.
See, I'm so excited. I forgot I was muted. But I was saying Ty Smith is the man. If y'all don't know, Ty, first of all, thank you for sharing that, Ty. But walking into the room, like everybody was like, Ty. It was just like a really cool, fun experience, man. And just to be there with you was a blast. You and your wife, of course, and the whole crew. Is there anything that I missed that you would love to share to the audience about your experiences?
Yeah, so I would say yeah, well, one, you did a great recap. So yeah, like, I mean, like, even I was remembering some things. It's like, oh yeah, we did do that, like the fire pits and everything. But I think the main thing, I think, for people that are kind of on the fence of going to these events is, I think the thing to realize is, I know some people are like, oh, if I go to these, I won't know anyone. If I go to these, I don't know if it's going to be a waste of money and et cetera, et cetera. But I think the whole thing is that it's really a community. It is a community. It's the same community that you're in. It's people trying to help people get into tech, specifically people that are trying to help change the diversity metrics, helping to get people of color into these spaces. So the more that you go to these events, the more people that you'll know. And like, you might go to an event, you might meet 10 people. You go to another one in the future, you're gonna meet 20. You go to another one in the future, you walk into that room, you're gonna know 30 people, you're gonna know 50 people, you're gonna know 100 people. And then the conversations continue through LinkedIn, through what we're doing right now, podcasting. They continue on the group chats. There's so many different group chats that you're a part of. But I think that the main thing is that, going just helps you just overall just see things, hear things that you wouldn't normally ever hear and see. Like the table that we were at, our final table when we were eating sushi. I mean, we had like 6 different conference founders or like organizers
Yeah.
all at the table. So like we had Black and Ecom, the founders of BlurredCon, founders of Chocolate Con and Bite Con and Midwest Con. Like they were all there all at the same time. And it's like being in a podcast, but like live in person. Like hearing Cyrus Harbin break down his whole entire structure for like, an entire hour of like how he does the show, piece by piece by piece, all the ins and outs. I mean, that's stuff that you're never going to get online. You could only get that in person.
You could only get that in living color. In living color, man. Like that's so true. Like, and just to kind of piggyback on what you said, like if you don't feel like you know anybody in the room, realize that when you get there, you're gonna know quite a few more people by the end of the night. Or by the end of that total event. So that was definitely a good call out and something I think that we definitely need to highlight. Todd, thank you so much for jumping in and being on the call with us. I have a few more callers, but thank you so much. I know it's early where you are, so I just want to say thank you, man. And honestly, I'm gonna say it on front because I don't think it's a big deal. I love you, bro, and we'll definitely be chopping up a lot more. All right?
Yeah, love you too, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Later, yes, later, Joseph.
Later. All right, so I got next on Tech Coach Ralph, and I got somebody else as well. I'm gonna bring them on, and then we'll keep the conversation rolling. Hey, what up, Tech Coach Ralph? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, there we go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, just checking in, saying what's up to you guys. Been checking out the content over the weekend. Busy weekend, but yeah, just saying what's up. Listening into the Techsgiving because that was like the first stream that I caught of you. Like last week, I think it was, or the weekend before that. I think it was the weekend before that, right? And yeah, so listening
with Nafisa, you mean the one conversation with Nafisa? You mean?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. Yeah, just listening in. Great stuff that you guys are doing. What's up, Trey?
All right, what's up? Oh, he's on mute.
What's going on? Yeah, I was muted. What's going on, Tech Coach Ralph, bro? What's
Nothing
happening?
much, man. Just checking in. Listening in. Embracing the content, soaking it all in.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for stopping by for sure.
No problem.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna bring on someone else I have that was a part of the event as well. I'm gonna bring on Alston. What up, Alston? Are you alive and in living color?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's a little early, but it's we living out here, right?
Yeah.
So
love it.
But yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No, you were gonna say I was gonna ask you what your experience like at Techsgiving.
Experience was definitely amazing. I think it was my second or third tech conference I've been to. So let me preface with this. I'm like when I met you, I am a country boy from South Carolina, right? So I'm not in the big tech. I'm not in the big tech cities, right? So a lot of my interaction is offline. So I took a chance to go out there, right? And not knowing a single soul, had the most amazing time, bro. Met some lifelong friends, bro. Like, easily the most substantial as far as substance you get out of a conference, the most affordable, and the most networking, like true lifelong networking I've ever seen at a conference. Like no offense to Afrotech, I'm not saying Afrotech's not great, but I think what set this apart was the intimacy of this one, right? I really do, because you are working in a shared space. You're looking at the same people for 3-4 days straight, so it felt really intimate. You got time to really get to know people. So that was the biggest takeaway for me, because like you said, being in tech, you're probably the only one in your team that looks like you, that goes through the same things as you. So the only time you can really vent, ask questions, be vulnerable, show any type of weakness is at a conference like this. Right. So anybody who's trying to break into tech, or just to meet people how to get there, I would definitely suggest going to this conference again. I definitely am.
Yeah.
So,
and let me ask you, were you in the room with George McGowan when he had all those government contractors and people that work for government there? Could you share your experience? Can you share that experience? Because I was like, oh, y'all need a day.
Yes. So just a little background. I'm an independent contractor, so I would currently work with a defense company, right? So I had a little bit of experience with it, for doing this for about 6 months now. But getting into that room, that was one of the most passionate 30-minute TED Talks I've ever heard in my life as far as tech, because you're having people pop up. It wasn't so much questions. It was like you said, it was venting. Like, how do you deal with being in tech, but the government is 10 steps behind us, you know? Like, we're using Apple, they're still using Blackberries, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of, it was definitely a lot of that. Because I mean, you've got people sitting in that room who had been in this tech government space for 20, 25 plus years, you know? Like he could be our dad. I think you know the guy I was talking about. I don't remember his name, but he had been doing this for a minute, you know, and he just kind of let everybody know, like, don't take it personally when you're in this government tech world. But you hit the nail right on the head. I really think there needs to be more, some type of, I don't know, getaway, retreat, venting space for people in the government tech, because you're literally paid to keep your mouth shut, you know? Not show any emotion, do your job, keep your mouth shut. So at some point, just health and therapy wise, that's got to go out somewhere, you know? So that's just my thoughts on it, right? But it was definitely enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed that session because I knew I wasn't alone.
Yeah, man. And thank you for sharing that as well. And thank you for calling into the show, Austin. I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna bring my boy Trey back on, but thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
All right, thank you. And so with that, I'm gonna bring back bro Trey. But like that right there, let me just talk about that for a second, because that might be a thing. Founders of Techsgiving, Femi, Jeffrey, if y'all, Nafeez, if y'all thinking about trying to do like another component of this in the future, or just a standalone event, I think, having something for specifically GovTech workers where they could kind of come, being people in there that are in the mental health space, people that can really kind of help in regards to not just kind of like, networking alone, but even kind of creating a safe space for them. I think it's well needed. Again, I don't work in that space, but just being in that room, and Ty actually made a point right here. He's like, George's GovTech session was great. That group was powerful, definitely a powerful situation. But and there's so much there in regards to how we can really kind of be a help. I'm trying to think of a better word. A catalyst of just kind of really kind of being a place that they could have a safe place. That's the word I'm looking for again. Yeah, just a safe place for them to be who they can be in that space. And so, no, that's such a good point, Austin. I definitely appreciate you for saying that and sharing that. I'm going to go to the comment section real quickly here, because I got a few others in here. I got good morning from Tech Coach Ralph. Thank you again for stopping by. And then I have Recruiter Cousin. Oh man, yes. I wish you were there too. Oh my goodness. You had some of your Microsoft people were in there as well. Some people were holding it down for Microsoft. But man, I was like, oh man, it would have been like the chef's kiss if you were there. I think you would have really enjoyed it, because it was, like you said, an intimate conference. And the crazy thing about it is 1,500 is not a small number.
Oh
but,
no.
but it just felt that close knit. And it felt like, listen, I bumped into you, you bumped into me. There were some amazing people. I think I missed somebody here on my list. Maybe I missed them. Yeah, I probably missed them. But Sheree, I want to give a shout out to Sheree. She has let me not misspell it right now, because I want to make sure I have it right. That I'm coming correct here. But there were like some amazing people in the room, some amazing founders, and Sheree was one of them. She has a whole product line for let me see if I pull it up right here, because I don't like when autocorrect does what it does. Autocorrect can correct our names. I mean, I have
man, I said what I said, man.
Yeah, like, come on, don't do that to me. I'm trying to give a shout out. Anyway, but let me go, like Recruiter Cousin said, it would have been great to have you there. Let me go to the comment section. Like Ty said this as well. That was a good point. That's a good point. Doesn't the government still use BlackBerry devices? Yeah, it's so behind on the times, man. So behind on the times. But But yeah, there we go. Found it. Sheree Glenn Flowers. She had a great conference. She basically the founder of Brownce, which is it's a total app that basically is dedicated to providing beauty supply needs nearby you, hairstylists nearby you, any beauty or hair care for Black and brown people. If you're looking for it and you can't find it in your neighborhood, you could use her app and you could be able to find it. I love that because my wife and I, we've gone through that as well. So yeah, so that was a great point, and I think that would be really good. If you have any takeaways, you could definitely type it as well in the bottom. I got a woo from Damien. Yeah, definitely. Top of the morning there, Fahim. Top of the morning. I got man, this is a safe haven for us. I'm definitely keeping a look out for some tickets. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it felt like as well, especially with the conversation that we had with some people. Recruiter Cousin said, "Don't miss Diverse Tech in Philly." Oh no, I actually looked it up. I was like, "What's the next event that's coming up that I want to be a part of?" And I saw the closest one to me was the one in Philly in May 7th. And let me say it now, y'all. Early bird specials are available to January 3rd for this Diverse Tech. $99 early bird special. I think you want to take advantage of that if you can. January 3rd, it ends. So go ahead, grab your tickets for Diverse Tech, and I'll see you there because I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yes, indeed.
And Ty, who honestly he has a whole list of these events. He says, and the Black GovTech conference is coming up in April 2026. Again, the Black
2024.
GovTech. Oh, I'm sorry, 2026. I'm still tired. 2024, the Black Tech. April 2024, the Black GovTech conference is coming. I'll put that 2 years in advance.
That boy added that 2 years on there, boy.
Yeah, no, 2024. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Man, awesome. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Oh, come on now. Come on. That is awesome, Fahim. Congratulations to you. And yes, Recruiter Cousins, I'm speaking at Diverse Tech this year, so I'm definitely gonna be in the building. Oh yeah. I mean, I was planning
row, bro.
I was already planning to come, but
front
now
row
you're speaking.
with my sign, man.
I got to be there. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. All right. I'm sorry. I break out of the song and dance every now and then. But yeah, like no, this was so good. And so yeah, in regards to what I think is a good time now. I don't know if I want to actually give you time to speak as well. If you anything you wanted to add to the things that you heard, Trey.
Oh no, bro! I just added earlier. I'm good, bro. This is amazing. I love this show, bro. Loved it.
The number one
morning tech show in the world, bro. Period.
Bing. Right. Put a period on that one. Well, I think it's a good time. I think it's a great time to bring up one of our favorite sections, which is our brown box special. In fact, brother, this is what compliments of Reddit. Do you have it up front so you could read it out loud? Because this brown box special is a special one. And just so y'all that don't know, if y'all tuning in for the first time, brown box special is basically where we share a story of somebody either getting fired, quitting a job, whatever kind of way where they got to pack up their stuff in a brown box and leave. And so with that being said, I'm gonna pass it to you, bro, so you can share this quite hilarious story.
Yeah, man. So this one was short but hilarious. It says, "Hey, worked in big box retail electronics." Right, this was the store. It said they had an all hands meeting, so probably about 60-ish employees. Management had fired a guy right before the meeting. Seems like a dumb decision. And before he walked out, he stood up in front of the crowd and said, "Well, I'm going to miss you all. These idiots fired me because they think I've been stealing stuff. And well, I haven't." Right then, an iPod Touch came tumbling out of his hoodie's pocket and hit the floor, sealed in a box with the company's inventory and anti-theft stickers still on it. Obviously, he was getting fired for a right reason.
Like, you can't make this stuff up.
Like, bro, you stood up too fast, man. You fumbled the bag on the way out the door for being fired for what you were doing. It's trash.
He's like, it was my fault. I didn't do it. I didn't. Boom,
bro. Come on,
I walk myself out.
Basically,
no, that
and leave that iPod Touch on the floor before you be walking out in handcuffs, man.
Scratch a liar, find a thief. There we go. And so, with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of. Oh, I actually saw this comment here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quickly. Somebody asked, "Do I need to go on a specific website to find tickets?" Boom! I actually put it in the comment section on both YouTube and on LinkedIn. But basically, Diverse Tech 24. That's the link that you could go to grab a ticket. And go ahead and grab your ticket. Go ahead and grab your ticket. But let me go to the comment section because people are laughing. Mitch is like laughing at the story. He's like, hey, then he's like, hey, yo. Yeah, that's a wild one. No, it definitely was a wild one for sure. Let me see if I missed any other comments before we're getting off of here. BlackBerries may be used for security purposes, and they prevent users from adding less secure apps, TikTok, and tracking apps. Nikolai is giving the reel on that. Yeah. America's new morning show going to 7 days a week soon. Hey, let's talk about it. We want to do that, right? But in order for us to get to that 7-day mark, we need more subscribers. Well, actually, you know what, Dre? We could talk about that. We could talk about that behind the scenes.
Yeah. We're gonna
lay it all out
bit.
for y'all. Lay it all out. But we definitely want to do this 7 days a week for sure. Certain things that happen first. But yeah.
If y'all, matter of fact, if somebody knows somebody out there in these radio streets and they can get us the end on an FM station, right? Go ahead, hook us up. We'll be on 7 days a week for sure.
Coming to you live 7 a.m. It is Talk That Tech, the morning show, featuring J.M. Smith and Trey.
I can't do it.
Trey. I know. I gotta. It's a morning, so I had to take advantage of it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boys. This is indeed. Trey and Jay shining off. And you gotta say one more time for the folks from the back who didn't see it earlier. But what we are?
Yo, we are the #1 tech morning show in the world. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all got this.
Numero uno. Peace.